Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fento, that's Tahiru Fento. The show is brought to you, of course, by Syntex Tank. Whatever your preferred tank is, of course, they have it for you. It's also brought to you by Pride Bet as well as Hunters. I will tell you more about them, but let me introduce my guest on the show tonight. For the first time in 2024, ladies and gentlemen, Teacher Philip Achrim and Daniel Cranton. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you.
Very happy New Year. Did you have a good holidays?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
100% family
Your
time.
first holidays as a married man.
Well, brilliant.
How different was it?
Very different. You're not only thinking about yourself, but you're thinking about how to make your wife
more
happy.
responsible.
And she's also thinking about how to... Yeah. I loved it.
DK, less dirty. This time around, you spend more time at home.
Yeah.
Did you not?
Very calm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike all your previous Decembers.
No, it's good.
That's what I'm saying.
In with the new.
Yeah,
and the new is way better than the old. See, don't listen to your friends. That girl you are following, marry her. It's the best decision you make in your life.
Where did you go this Christmas?
I said
this
I was home.
holiday period.
I was home.
Like you didn't go out for some fancy dinner somewhere?
I was home.
Stop lying to me. Stop lying to me.
I'm not happy. What the Black Stars are doing in Kumasi, I'm not happy.
You're not happy. You want to start from there?
Yeah, I'm not serious.
There was one Christmas, okay? There was one Christmas, and I'll never forget. It was Christmas 2019, okay? What is Daniel?
Because I know where you are going.
You know the story, yeah?
I know where he's going. It's a story about me.
Is it?
You see, his marriage is good. Because there was one Christmas when this guy was not married, okay, where Daniel went missing for 3 days. Okay, I was looking for him for work. He was missing. Okay, he was missing. He went to Afro Nation. All right, he chilled. He had so much fun that he lost track of time. He woke up on a Saturday when we didn't have a show and was producing a show.
Seriously?
On a Saturday. But that show didn't air on a Saturday. And then he sent the files. And then the lady who was producing, who was in the studio at the time said, boss, why?
Why are you sending this?
Why are you sending me this? He said, it's before the show. He said, no, but today
There's no show
we don't do the show. He said,
Tuesday. I thought it was Tuesday.
Brother,
he went blank.
I thought it was
brother, he lost track of time. So marriage is good. He went wild.
It has settled him.
It was right after that COVID struck. So that December was very dirty.
Yeah.
It was very dirty.
Year of return.
Oh, brother.
You will not get it again if you miss it.
Serious. It was after that this guy came to announce on TV that Afro Nation should sign a lifetime contract to do it in Ghana every year on radio.
But he loved it. He enjoyed it, yeah.
Anyway, Syntex Tank is asking you whatever your preferred color of water tank is. They have it. Whatever guarantee you want, they have it. What kind of inner layer do you want? They have it. Whether you want double, triple, quadruple, or as many layers as you want, they have it. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Syntex Tank are strong, tough, proud sponsors of this particular show. They have over 300 agents nationwide. So if you want a tank, just call 0244-335168. 0244-335168, and they will deliver that tank right to your doorsteps. You can also visit them on social media, Syntex Ghana, or shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, a tough, a strong, a tough. Now, also Pride Bet is here. We're still in the festive season. All the excitement is at pridebet.com.gh. They're giving you lots of exciting gifts, and you could be a winner too. Just stay active on PrideBet and be a part of the luck that plays this season to win yourself mobile phones, Bluetooth, AirPods, and TV sets. And that's not all. You can now bet on international lotto results from the US, the UK, as well as even here in Ghana. Just go to pridebet.com.gh to register today and enjoy up to 100% a welcome bonus on your first deposit. Pride Bet, let's go. Terms and conditions apply, of course, and they're regulated by the Gaming Commission. And this festive season, I hope you came back here having enjoyed an awful lot of hunters. Make sure the tradition continues, the tradition goes on, whatever your refreshment needs are. When you sit around the table with the family, with the boys, with the girls, make sure that your drink of choice is Hunters. Okay, you can enjoy it on its own or paired with your favorite drink and enjoy the festive season. Hunters, of course, is another quality product from Casa Preco. If you want to buy in bulk, just call 0262 351 251, 0262 351 251, and then they will deliver it right to your doorsteps. Now, the Black Stars are currently in action. What's the latest?
Still goalless.
Still goalless, but Inaki Williams is off for SOA.
Okay.
Who I understand almost created a chance for himself, but was stripped. So, yeah.
Very interesting. But I pull out that Black Stars starting lineup for me. We'll get to that and talk about the team that they put out for this particular game. But, guys, I want us to get something out of the way before we return to that Black Stars conversation, because that Black Stars conversation is crucial. Now, there was FA Cup, MTN FA Cup action over the weekend. Some cracking results here and there. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they got a very crucial 1-0 victory to progress to the last 16 of the competition. I think we have the highlights. We just show you that, and then we show you the full results from the weekend of FA Cup action, where there were some shocks here and there. Narnia FC and Sky FC, of course, causing the biggest shocks. So, Kotoko in action. It was a brilliant goal, half volley, that came in the second half. But, yeah, from the weekend, of course, which included shocking victories, of course, for Narnia FC and also for Sky FC. Sky FC, they beat Mediama there to eliminate them. Those are Mediama are the Ghana Premier League champions. Not sure exactly what was going on with them. All right, okay, so what's going on with there you go, finally. Karela FC, they beat Kasalgu Arrowheads 5-1. Bofokatano also 1-0 winners over Brecum City. And then you see Nsuachaman FC also beating Victory Club by 1-0. Saturday, there was Brecum Chelsea and Bafo Soccer Academy ending 1-1. And Brecum Chelsea, of course, winning that game by 4-2 on penalties. Pechem United as well. They were in action against PAC Academy. They beat them by 3-0. Namibia Football Club or Football Academy, they lost by 2-1. Swedro All Blacks also drawing 1-1 with Elmina Shah. Accra Athletic Club also, of course, 0-0 with Hoho United. Narnia FC, they also through to the round of 16, as well as, of course, Sky FC. Let me show you who has made it to the round of 16, the full lineup of the teams in the round of 16. Premier League, Karela United are there before Kwatano and Swatreman, Brecum Chelsea, Bechem United, Kotoko Dreams FC, and Legon Cities. And from Division 1, you have Hoho United, Elmina Shark, Soccer Intellectuals, Sky FC, Wapa, FC Nania, and Kofodia Simpe there as well. So you see, and then there's one club from Division 2 who have shocked everybody to make it all the way to the round of 16. The round of 16 draw will take place next week. So those are the full results and the lineup for the MTN FA Cup round of 16. Some very interesting results you must take note of course. Now, remember, Dreams FC are the defending champions, so they are still in the competition, in position to, of course, defend their title. But Mediama Sporting Club, you notice, are not in there. They were kicked out by Sky FC. You also notice that Hearts of Oak are not in there. It was Narnia FC that kicked them out of the competition. So, interesting results all around there. All right, cool. Guys, any thoughts on the FA Cup before we move on?
Yeah, for Kotoko, it's good. I think that in the last 2-3 seasons, Kotoko have always, not been lucky in this rounds. Yeah. Remember when Ogum was there before, he got knocked out before the round of 16. Mm-hmm. And the season before, Kotoko has what it didn't progress. It's been a while since they won it or even got into the final. I'm thinking that in the form in which they found themselves in the last couple of weeks or over a month or so, they will be ironing. Ogum has not won it yet. So it's going to be one of those trophies that I think this season, looking at how Kotoko's team is playing, he'll be iron for sure.
Interesting. And for Narnia, another maybe fairy tale run.
way.
They won the competition in 2011.
Yeah.
Kotoko in the final. So far they've kicked out 2 Premier League clubs.
Yeah.
And still running. So I'm sure if you're a big boy, you might not want to face them because you never know what could happen. So anyway, so that's that. But West Benaya, have you found me the Kotoko goal yet? It was a lovely finish. I would be doing the viewers an injustice if I didn't show that. But yeah, it was a fantastic finish. I absolutely loved that. But in the absence of that, let's talk about the Black Stars. They are currently in action. How many minutes played so far?
It's been around 50th minutes, late 50 minutes.
And it's still 0-0.
Yeah.
This is how the Black Stars started the game. The starting lineup, was Richard Ofori in goal, of course. And they also had at right back was, I believe, Dennis Odoi. Centre-back partnership was Alexander Jiku and Daniel Amate. At left back, they had Gideon Mensah. And they had a midfield two of Elisha Owusu and Baba Idrisu. Then they have Ransford Yeboah on the left and Joseph Pencil on the right. Then there was Inaki Williams also in the forward position. And
then Jordan Ayew played on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Joseph Pencil on the right, and then Konigsdorfer as number 10.
That's the line. So that's the full lineup there. And Sicho, you were saying that there's been some changes.
Yes. So last time I checked, Inaki Williams had been withdrawn for Jonathan Sowa to step into his place. So yeah, that was the only change then that had happened. And I think that the second half gives the manager also the opportunity of giving others the chance to play. So we'll be giving the update on what is happening. But as it stands, that's the only substitution that has been made. And they've played 55 minutes so far.
Okay. Now, this game is being played behind closed doors, but somehow some people are still finding ways of streaming it. But you watched the first half.
Yeah.
Old problems still persist. What are the main issues that you picked up from that first half that remain issues from old that haven't been fixed?
First off, it's not behind closed doors necessarily. It's an off-camera game.
Yeah.
Because actually a free gate to anybody who wants to go and watch the game, which for me doesn't make
close to the media, kind of like close to broadcast.
Yeah.
Yes, off-camera game.
Yes.
So, but which doesn't make any God-given sense to me, because
you don't understand why the game is not being shown on TV.
Yes, and fans are allowed.
They
to
said they are training
free.
in secret. They want their tactics to be secret.
Yeah.
They don't want opposition to come and steal their tactics.
Fantastic. And I love what you just said. Opposition come and steal their tactics.
Or come and scout their tactics.
Brilliant. So if you're gonna get the stadium as free gate for fans to go into the stadium, how do you determine if I'm Ghanaian or I'm not? How do you determine if the opposition have sent scouts to come and watch the game for free, because a free game anyway? So if you're looking
in that case, the opposition would have invested money. So at least if you are to get it, spend some money to come and watch.
Well, yes, of course.
It's easy for national teams, right?
Yeah, they'll still get it, right? And I think it's bizarre to think that if this game is on TV, it's a disadvantage to the Black Stars. We saw Argentina play all their qualifiers before the World Cup. They won it. You know, the last time we went to the AFCON, we saw Senegal play all their friendlies in camera and they won it. So I don't understand how the game is open to all fans, yet it can't be on TV for other Ghanaians to appreciate what kind of team they are going to go into the competition supporting, or what kind of team they will have the hope that can deliver the trophy. But that aside, the first half has been atrocious. It's been terrible. And I've managed to see, others have managed to get their cameras in there and with low quality still shot the game. But it's still giving us a sense of what is happening. Mm-hmm. And when you've seen the Black Stars play in that first 45 minutes and even in the second 45, it's the same old problem that we've seen under Chris Hughton. And it's surprising now because the excuse that he had previously was that he's always having to prepare with the team for 2 days, and he's got a game, and he's got 1 day to get them to recover, and he's got another game. So during those breaks, it's never really had time. But he's had about 5 straight days, almost 7 days with the squad, and you're expecting that we see signs that are better than what we've seen before. But what we are looking at this evening, for anybody who has seen the game anywhere, is the clear lack of cohesion between Ghana's midfield and its attack, because we are not able to transition the ball from midfield to attack. Yeah. Others would use the word progression. I probably would like to use transition even more, because you can progress the ball without any proper transition, because when you pass the ball forward, you might not be passing it right. But when you're transitioning the ball as a team, then you're moving in unison where the position of the back line is relative to the midfield position and the attacking position. Yeah. But when you watch the Black Stars play, I think transition throughout is terrible. It is not being held by a lot of individual errors by some players in the team, giving away some loose passes. The back has looked a bit shaky as well. It's Amati and Jiku partnering, but again, he hasn't looked solid. And we are looking at the broader picture of Namibia playing in Ghana ahead of an AFCON, yet Namibia looking very comfortable. And Ghana is not even camping
in terms of conceding goals. So again, in as much as you might look at that first half and say Namibia didn't necessarily carve us open, it has been a recurring theme under this technical team which needs to be solved. What worries me most is that we've seen an apparent problem with this team in terms of transition, and I'll use Citro's word transition. Now, the first step in the solution is personnel. You can't continuously use two defensive midfielders who instinctively have been taught their whole lives to play it safe, pair them together and expect them to take risky passes up front, look forward, see somebody with an opening and attempt that pass. They would not do that. They will by all means look for the safer option because that is what they've been trained to do over and over and over again throughout their careers. That is why personnel is important. That's why you don't go and put a right back as a striker and say he's a professional footballer so he should be able to score. No. You put the right personnel in the right position to help you do certain things. And if we are continuously seeing this problem in terms of ball progression and ball transitioning, and then we come and we are facing Namibia at home in our only friendly game ahead of the AFCON, and then you come and play two defensive midfielders again, and we are seeing the same problems. Who are we going to blame? I'm not going to blame Elisha Owusu for turning sideways and looking to pass to Baba. I'm not going to blame Baba for turning back when Koningsdorfer was free up top. I'll blame the head coach because as he's continuously naming these two, he's telling us that he likes it. He likes when his central...
Even if he's not getting results.
Even if he's not getting results, he's totally in love with the idea of attacking players being free up front, but central midfielders turning and passing the ball sideways. That's why he continuously plays them. Because we saw examples against Madagascar when he started the two DMs. Ashmiro came in and completely changed the game. We saw when we went away, was it against Angola? When we went away, it was a stalemate, Angola scored, then he brought Ashmiro, completely changed the game again. Yet every time you are given an opportunity to change it and rectify it from the start, you still go back to default. And it would make sense if the two defensive midfielders were actually helping to solve that defensive problem. But they are not.
That's what I was going to.
They are not.
Because we keep playing there and keep conceding.
We still look very porous. And if you watch the first half, there was such a gaping hole, gaping space between the front five and the back five. Yeah. Because there's two central midfielders, because they are both instinctively defensive, they are always retreating. Nobody is stepping up to give that in-between the line cover. Everybody is dropping deep because that is their instinct. So they are always following the defense. And when you look at Koningsdorfer, Joseph Pinsel, and then Jordan,
very isolated.
They are also isolated. So that space in midfield is there, and it allows opposition to get at the team. So there are problems, but of course, I'm a positive guy when it comes to the Black Stars, and
I know.
In the first half.
And this year, I've decided to also keep only a positive mood. We are winning the AFCON.
You are being sarcastic. But you see...
No, I'm not. We are winning.
Ghanaians have
every year I say we won't win, we don't win. So maybe, yes, so I've switched. So this year we'll win.
Look, friends, Ghanaians have been asking, we've all been asking, what exactly does Ransford Iwoa Koningsdorfer offer the team? But in those first 45 minutes, my questions have been
We saw.
Look, he's been very good. The positions he's occupied, the touches. This is somebody who has gone to good football school. He doesn't need to touch the ball and dribble 5 players for him to know he's a good player.
Begs the question, why they hadn't used him all this while.
And that's what I'm wondering. Maybe when he came in the first 3, 4, 5 months, he was shy. And now he's gotten over his shyness. But what I've seen in the first 45 minutes is a really good sign. At least he's one of the more positive performances that I've seen. And the few touches that Iñaki got, you could also see the understanding that he has in terms of link-up play. The only opportunity we got in that first half, a through ball by Koningsdorfer to Iñaki. Iñaki took his time, cut it back to Koningsdorfer, who I thought should have taken it first time. But it was still good.
Something is happening. At the stadium, the fans are booing the players for misplaced passes or not finding runs. So very frustrated. There was one incident, Iñaki made a run, they didn't find him, and all the fans started to boo. So it's fair to say the fans inside the stadium have not been impressed at all by the team's performance. And that's why some of you are sending these messages as well to say that number is on your screen on WhatsApp. This is a message that says, this is from Jem. And Jem says, the Black Stars are making it extremely difficult to sustain our love for them. Terrible performance every single game. And this message is from Kwampa Francis Senior, who says, good evening, please. What style of play is the Black Stars? Do the Black Stars have that the GFA have decided the match be played under closed doors? In fact, the GFA is in the emergency unit without a doctor, he says. Now, just pay attention to the tone of some of these messages. And this message is from Abdul Ghanin, who says, Ghana, why have we decided not to show the match on telly? Or is it because of their bad performances? He's sending that message from Tamale. He has his own explanation for why he thinks they've decided not to show the game. This one says, okay, he wants us to give an update on the Women's Premier League as well. But I get us the results. Thank you. This one says, I'm watching you live from Sinyani. Is this Black Stars team... is this the first time the Black Stars is playing a game behind closed doors? Interesting question. I think so, yeah. Unless it's a training match. This one says, Bismarck watching you live from Obuasi. What the Black Stars coach has done today shows that he cannot take our national team to go and win the AFCON. His speech for not, his reason for not streaming today's match is very horrible. And you say, thanks for your good work. So you're not buying it. And this one says, winning the AFCON is going to be tough. This is a message from Trisha. And this message is also from Mutala Tanko, who says, Happy New Year to you guys. And he said, what a lovely outfit from Fenth. All right. And then I've got another message here that says, Isaac, and this is Isaac from Office, who says the Black Stars will do well at the AFCON. Let's be positive, he says. And this message says, I'm watching you live from Kumasi. The Black Stars cannot win the AFCON. This is Abdul Samad with that message. Okay, Abdul Samad, thank you. George says, we are not serious. If the technical team don't want us to watch their tactics, fine, no problem. A good coach at the AFCON can even watch how you do your warm-up and know how you're going to play. We all day here, he says. George says, we all day here. Why, Daniel, have you scored?
Almost.
Almost. This one says, treat every prophecy that said Ghana will win the AFCON 2024 with a pinch of salt. On the evidence of what's before us, Obia, Bua, Chiakai, and Charity. And Charity, I don't have salt, so I can't treat it with any pinch of salt. So we are winning the AFCON. I don't have any salt. And this one says, I'm watching live from Kumasi. All right, cool. I think I read that one earlier. This one says, please, I'm Henry. We want to watch the match live, please. The GFA says the match should not be on TV. The coach says he doesn't want the match to be on TV. So the match is not on TV. Nobody can show the match. They even took soldiers to the press stand where the media people are to check and make sure that nobody's streaming. In fact, somebody went to hide inside the fans and was streaming the match down to some way. So the thing is critical. The GFA said they don't want anybody to show the match. So we, as we are sitting here, we are struggling to watch the game. So that's the problem. So we can't show you the match, unfortunately. Hunter from Tongo says, what is the scoreline right now? It is 0-0 right now. We've played over an hour in this particular match, I believe. Let me check my score app.
Yeah, we have.
I'm right, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Past the 60-minute mark.
Thank you. I've done like an hour. So it's still 0-0. We can't score Namibia in Kumasi. Problem. Everywhere you pass, problem. Emmanuel says, where is Mohamed Kudus? Well,
Mohamed Kudus is in Ghana. We know that he had, according to West Ham, he had injury worries, a minor injury which they didn't want to risk. So they were monitoring the injury to see if it was indeed minor or it was worse than they feared. well, he's been cleared to join his teammates.
Yeah.
But what we understand is he's actually in Accra for some monitoring. He will join the rest of the team in Kumasi. Maybe the next.
Yes, uncle.
The next day.
You joined them on Wednesday at the airport.
Yeah, but I also heard that he could join them. But what we've heard again
what would be
is
the point of going to Kumasi, for
yeah.
example?
So
when obviously he won't train with them.
So what we are hearing is that the whole pre-camping, Kudus will be part.
Yes, but he played our first game.
But for sure, because of his ability and quality, and clearly the lack of quality in the black,
he has to start on Sunday.
He's probably going to start, and that gives me a little bit of a worry.
It does,
because Mohamed Kudus is still learning his game, and it's a brilliant. He has a fantastic start.
His talent is not in doubt.
He's a great talent, but when I watch the way Kudus plays, he's not the kind of player I think that if he's not 80-90% fit, he can excel. Because his game is full of power and strength.
Yeah.
And for such players, I'm not the one saying it, it's just there, you can look it up. For such players who rely on a lot of power and strength, if they are not fit to a certain level, maybe above 90%, they don't deliver. If it's a player like Sergio Busquets, if you tell me a player like Thomas Partey has a minor injury, he could probably go through the game without anybody noticing, because their game is such that they don't require so much exertion of energy. But Kudus has to get through the tackles. He has to get through the challenges. And if he's not sure about how fit he is, I wonder if he gives what really makes his game exciting.
Yeah.
So I really hope that he can be close to 100% by the time Ghana kicks off on Sunday, because he's crucial and he will be crucial to this team.
Interesting. So Mohamed Kudus is in Ghana. He's in Accra, actually, but he's not in Kumasi. And the team will only have one more training session. So what you are seeing against Namibia, that is the result of all our preparation. Because the only other chance we have to improve is one more training session on Tuesday. So that is it. And then after that, Wednesday, on the 10th, they will fly out to Abidjan. And they will play our first game against Cape Verde at 8 p.m. on Sunday. All right, so our preparations are done. After this game, tomorrow, I don't even think it'll be a full training session. It might just be
the recovery session.
Exactly. Kudus won't participate in that. On Wednesday, he will join his teammates at the airport, and then they'll fly out to Abidjan. So basically, that's it. Ghana's AFCON preparations are done. We'll keep you updated on this particular game. Karim has been, of course, keeping a good eye. So Emmanuel Dogbe in Adenta, your question about Kudus Mohamed has been answered. Karim has been keeping an eye on especially the attacking numbers of Ghana's squad, and then comparing it to the attacking numbers of our group opponents to see where we really stand. And of course, we'll also take you to some AFCON updates. Some teams are already arriving. Some of our opponents are playing some friendly matches here and there. So truly, we are in AFCON spirit.
The biggest game on the continent.
The Africa Cup of Nations.
This is absolutely incredible from Bounedjah.
Mane! Senegal are African champions. Absolutely delighted with the goal for his country. Still Salah. Little crossover, tries to finish it. Egypt with Trezeguet. Super goal from Dede Ayew.
And it's absolute madness that's taking place here. It's gone in. Looks absolutely distraught.
Puts the ball in and there's 3-0.
This is absolutely incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Did you see what happened there? Oh my word. Wasn't that sensational?
Wow. Are you in the spirit? I am surely in the spirit. AFCON spirit. The AFCON is starting in just 5 days. You saw that montage there, putting you in the spirit. The opening game on Saturday, Côte d'Ivoire opening the competition. Surely it will be all kinds of fireworks. And this is the reason we have no excuse whatsoever than to qualify. Listen to this. There are 6 groups in the AFCON, 24 teams. Each group is 4 teams, okay? Now, the top 2 teams in each group will automatically qualify to the round of 16. And then listen to this. Out of the 6 groups, the 4 third-place teams will also qualify to the round of 16. Okay? 6 groups, top 2 in each group will qualify automatically. Then the ones that have placed third, 4 of them from 4 groups will qualify. So only 2 teams that will place third in the group stages will not qualify. And this was the situation, and yet we went to Cameroon, and we still couldn't even be among the third place teams that qualified because we finished bottom. So we cannot have that. In fact, so out of the 24 teams, only 8 teams will not qualify to the round of 16. And out of the 8 teams, 6 of them would be the ones that will finish bottom in their groups. So in all, only 2 teams from the ones that will finish from first to third out of a group of 4 teams will not make it to the group stages. And yes, somehow we went to Cameroon and didn't make it. So this time there cannot be any excuse when you are found in a group with Egypt, Cape Verde, and Mozambique. Speaking of them, we'll get to them because they've been involved in some friendly matches. But Karim has been taking a look at the squads of the 4 teams in that group. What have you found?
Well, when you are looking at the numbers, really, it's interesting to see. Ghana has named the most attackers in Group B, 9.
How many? 9 attackers?
Yes.
Interesting.
Followed by Cape Verde, they have named 8. Then Egypt and Mozambique, they've named 6 attackers each. Then when you are looking at overall goals, attackers from each team has scored from the start of the season up to this point. Egypt is leading the chart with 55 goals by those 6 players.
And 9 have scored how many? Let's go through the numbers.
Yes.
Then.
So these are the numbers for the Mozambican team. They have 6 attackers. Then their top scorer, he plays for CD Nacional in the Portuguese second tier. Then he has played 18 games and has scored 8 goals. Then Stanley Ratifor, he plays in some team. I can't even mention the name. He's played 2 games and has scored 2 goals. Purely, if you are looking at somebody playing just 2 games and are taking him to the AFCON, it's either based on experience or some kind of familiarity he has with the team. Then we having Gildo Vinalos. He has played 15 games, no goal. Then Gary Gatano, he has played 19 games, no goal. Luis Mixan, he plays for Simba in Tanzania. He has played 8 games, no goal. Then Law King, he played 3 games, no goal.
Let's focus on that Mozambican. So who are their biggest threats here as far as their attackers are concerned?
Up to this point in the season, their biggest threat is coming from a player who plays in the Portuguese second tier league. That's Witness Quembo, plays for CD Nacional. He has played 18 games and has scored 8 goals so far this season.
Interesting. So overall,
Mozambique, they've scored 25 goals from 125 games, all combined.
From all their forwards. Interesting.
I think, yeah.
All right. Let's look at the next one.
Then we are coming to Cape Verde. Mm-hmm. This guy has become a very familiar name, Willy Semedo. He plays in the Turkish league, Fatih. That's a Turkish top flight team. Then he has played 18 games and has also scored 8 goals. Then Ben Chimol, a player that plays for Benfica B, and they are naming him in their squad. He's played 13 games and has scored 5 goals. Then Valero, 17 games, 4 goals. Then another familiar name, Ria Mendes, he has played 13 games and has scored 2 goals. Then Bebe, he's an annoying player to watch if you are watching La Liga. If you are playing against his team, when he's playing against the other small teams, he doesn't score. But when he comes up
against the big
teams like that,
he turns into prime Messi.
It's like some way. And he has played 14 games for Rayo Vallecano, then he has scored 2 goals so far. Then Sebral, he's played 13 games. Gary Rodriguez, 15, 1 goal. Then Texera, 15 games, 1 goal. Then if you are looking at their star man, that would be Willy Semedo. He's an experienced campaigner, and he has played in so many AFCONs for them. He played 18 games and scored 8 goals. Then when we are looking at Egypt, Mohamed Salah, of the 6 attackers they've named in the team, he has scored more than a quarter of the goals they've scored. In 27 games this season, for Liverpool, he scored 18 goals. Then we have Kahraba, then he plays for Al Ahly, then he's played 26 games and has scored 13 goals. Then we have Omar Marmoush, plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, then he has played 18 games and scored 8 goals. Then Mustafa Fati plays for Pyramids in the Egyptian League and he's played 12 games and scored 6 goals. Then Mustafa Mohamed, he plays for Nantes and he has played 15 League 1 games and has scored 6 goals. Then Trezeguet, he plays for David Trezeguet, he's played 13 games this season and has scored 5 goals. Then
Omar Mamouche, I watched him. He plays for Frankfurt.
Yes.
I watched him against PAOK when they played in the Conference League, I believe. Yeah. I thought that he was there. I was watching him and relishing him against Daniel Lamate, and I'm shaking my head. Mohamed Salah might not even be the biggest threat. Of course, obviously, on paper, he's the biggest threat for Egypt, but Mamouche is a handful.
Yeah.
He's a handful.
He's a quality footballer. They've got a lot of them who can be a handful to attack. Trezeguet is still in the mix. He scored a goal alongside Salah the last time.
Very experienced as well. Trezeguet.
Very experienced, so yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So then Ghana. Okay.
Yeah.
Black Stars.
So we've named the most attackers in the group 9. Among those 9 attackers, we have scored 52 goals. That's the second highest in the group. Then our highest top scorer is Mohamed Kudus from 27 games for both Ajax and West Ham. He scored 10 for West Ham and 4 for Ajax.
This is for 2023 calendar year.
Yes, 2023-24 season.
Okay.
Then Jonathan Sowa, he comes second. Plays for Midiama in both the CAF Champions League and the Ghana Premier League. 15 games, he scored 9 goals. Then
that's impressive.
We have Iñaki Williams for Athletic Club, 18 games, and he scored 8 goals. Then we have Osman Bukhari and Joseph Pencil, both playing 22 games and scoring 7 goals each. Then Antoine Semenyo Bournemouth played 17 games for them and scored 3 goals. Then Jordan Ayew played 21 games and scored 2 goals, not his strength.
Then Yeboah has 1 goal.
Yes, 1 goal in 18 games.
So does Nioma.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, Daniel, your thoughts on this? Because that's a lot of attackers, but obviously not only one of them in single figures at the moment, which is Mohamed Kudus. But clearly, there's still a lot of goals spread all around. Why do we struggle to get them scoring? Because clearly there are goals in there. 52 goals from the players we have named in this squad.
Yeah, we have very good attacking players who can score if given the right system to operate in. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like Chris Hughton is interested in opening up to allow them to express their attacking side, and that's what we've seen. That's what we are seeing today. That's what we saw last month, the month before, and even before he took over. It's been like that with the Black Stars for a while. They said we are just a bit too still when it comes to attacking football, and I really don't understand why. Because most of the time, you look at your squad, you look at where your strength lies, and then you play to your advantage. And when you look at the squad of players we have, the profile of players we have, as Karim said, we've named the most attackers as compared to the rest of the teams that we have. So even in terms of naming players for the competition, we have a lot of attackers who are doing really well per the 52 goals that we've seen them score at their club level. But
connecting them to the ones who should create for them.
It's just not working out. And for me, it's a bit problematic because we really don't have an excuse. We really don't have an excuse. Honestly, not to be playing much better than we are, and not to be getting these guys to at least perform to the level that we know they know how to. So it's a bit problematic. You look at Kudus with double figures. Look at what Iñaki is doing at Bilbao. Look at Bukhari. Even Sowa. But when they come to the Black Stars, it's just, you see, the problem is they don't even get chances. That's the thing. It's not like they are getting chances and they are misfiring. we are not even creating opportunities for us to say that, okay, fine, this person is a bad finisher or this person can't score goals. We are not even creating the chances in the first place. And that is down to the system. That is
when I watch Inaki Daniel, I feel very frustrated. Listen, look, and I don't get frustrated when I'm watching for the Blaster. I get frustrated when I'm watching for Bilbao.
Yeah.
When I see what he's doing there, and I ask myself, why is it just not working? Because it almost looks like, honestly, even for Kudus Mohammed, you're very well documented on your concerns about where he plays, especially with the Black Stars. But even with that, somehow, he seems to be the only player whose Black Stars form somehow correlates to his club form, in that he scored the most goals since he made his debut. Mm-hmm. So in a way, we can say his forms correlate.
He's the best out of the terrible.
Thank you. But even with that, there's still some very big issues there trying to get him to perform at his optimal. Honestly, we've talked about, and it looks like we keep beating like a water drum. It's almost as if we've said it over and over and over again, and it's become so boring. But seriously, what is the issue with our midfielders and our attackers not connecting? Is it just the issue of the double DM, or is it an issue of even profiles? We don't necessarily have ball carriers or creative players, or is it a systematic issue?
It is for me a lot of things, a lot of factors.
Because I'm struggling to pin it on one thing.
There isn't one. It comes from different sides, and that is how difficult it is now for every Ghanaian football fan and everybody who wants to think around the Ghana Black Stars. Because one, it is coaching. Because the manager has to develop a framework where he's developed the framework and is now asking himself who fits where. And if he doesn't have the players to fit where, then he adjusts that framework to suit what he's got. But it almost appears that what we've known Chris for is nothing like we've seen of him with the Black Stars. And the first place I'll start with is our defense. Because I've said it before, if we could trust our defense going into the AFCON, surely I'm not worried, because at the tournament, the first thing you want to avoid is goals. And you're playing the 24-team competition where finishing third is not the worst of places to be. Mm-hmm. And we saw Portugal finish third to go on and live the Euros in 2016.
Of course. You just need to get out of the group.
So if winger is, right, there's a big difference between... Angel Di Maria is a typical winger when he was in his heyday. Mohamed Salah, to speak, has never been a winger. He's always operated as a forward. Yeah. So the position that he picks as a forward player is very different from what he would do if he played as a winger. Yeah. What Inaki Williams has done and excelled at his club is to play as a forward. I'm not going to say he's not going to backtrack to help his defenders. But of course, the movements and the roles he picks as a forward player is very different. The freedom he's got is different, right? So it's just the wrong
spaces he occupy are
different. It's just the wrong profiling of the players that are going to fit in whatever framework the manager has got. And that is where
in terms of profiling, you're 100% spot on, because if you're doing proper profiling of this Black Star squad, you would say we are going to this AFCON with one striker.
Of course, we are going to the AFCON with one out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
Jonathan Sowa is the only centre forward. And that, again, and when we also spoke about the fact that our players have got a lot of goals in them, at times, the reason why these players score is because of the bait other teams take. So when you look at Inaki Williams and what he does, and when Grisetta is the striker and his exiting position for him to fill it in, it's different from when we don't have an out-and-out striker and we're expecting Inaki to play out wide and do what he does with Bilbao, when the framework is very different, you know. And so a lot of things has to come together for the Black Stars. And at times, we've also been unlucky, and luck also has to be on our side at times for us to get the result that is needed.
Pray for luck. Sito says we should pray for luck. This is the season of our harvest. This is the season of our luck. This is the season when the Almighty finally brings it all together. After 42 years, God owes us. Oh, no, he doesn't owe us. But after 42 years, please, this is our season of harvest. Let me hear a big amen. Oh. Hey, the people don't believe in the
amen is a strong word, so I don't throw it.
Even Daniel didn't shout the amen.
They know it's serious.
Even Daniel didn't shout the amen. 90 minutes is still 0-0. We're playing added time now in that game in Kumasi between Ghana and Namibia. We can't score. It's rather unfortunate. We will take a very short break now. When we come back, I've got lots of your messages, and then we'll tell you what Egypt were up to in their friendly game. Mozambique also played a friendly, and then we'll take you to England to show you some FA Cup action. You're watching Sports Zone on Joy Prime. It's sponsored by Hunters Syntex Tank as well as Pride Bet. We'll be right back.
The biggest game on the continent.
The Africa Cup of Nations.
This is absolutely incredible from Bounedjah.
Mane! Senegal are African champions. Absolutely delighted with the goal for his country. Still Salah. Little crossover, tries to finish it. Egypt with Trezeguet. Super goal from Dede Ayew.
And it's absolute madness that's taking place here. It's gone in. Looks absolutely distraught. Puts the ball in and there's 3-0. This is absolutely incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Did you see what happened there? Oh my word. Wasn't that sensational?
Wow, I'm very excited. AFCON is exciting. It's exciting. Starts on Saturday and will go all the way to February 11, 2024, which is when Ghana will finally win the AFCON title after 42 years. Anyway, Egypt might have a thing or two to say about that. They played against Tanzania in a friendly game. They won by 2 goals to nil. Mohamed Salah scored a penalty, and Trezeguet scored the other goal, of course, there as well. Mozambique, I think they played against Botswana. They drew 1-1. They played 2 matches already in pre-AFCON qualifying games. So that's that. This is the Egypt game. And, of course, look at that. Hey, these people. Egypt, you don't see the players, but every time they come to the AFCON, they are always dangerous. Up to now, I still don't understand how Egypt got to the final in the last edition.
Yeah, they were terrible.
I have no idea how they got there.
They were terrible
Like,
to watch.
no memorable matches.
Yeah,
apart from, I think, the game against...
The Morocco game.
Yes.
It was all fights.
No, the Morocco game.
They
Apart from that...
the skin of Morocco, which is a tactic they use and do well. Your gamesmanship has to be on top as well to win the AFCON, right? And it's, I think, that's the character they've got. They just know how to do it ugly, because they've not got. This is not the most talented Egyptian team that we've seen. It's not the team from 2006 to 2010, 2012ish. This is a different team that lacks a bit of quality, but they just know how to grind it.
Interesting. All right. Just trying to show you the goals for this game. Mohamed Salah and Trezeguet, easy peasy. That's the finish.
The thing about Salah these days now is become even more dangerous to play because his passing game has gone to another level.
It has.
When he first got to the Premier League, his goal scoring rate was off the roof. But now the passes that Salah is taking, and the Trezeguet goal is the perfect example. He's just scooping the ball around the corner and it's through.
And that's the penalty, which Salah, of course, converted. I don't know, somebody came to ask me why he wasn't giving us an own goal. Just watch why. And I was explaining that if it's from the penalty spot, he wouldn't be... There you go. So that is a... So is that an own goal or a Salah goal?
It's a Salah goal.
It's a Salah goal?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's
Why?
It's a Salah goal because it's... I'm trying to pick out what the phrase the wedding is. I'll find it out. I'll leave it there. There's something about this. It's not in the run of play. It's.
I'll tell you this. If this happened in a penalty shootout, would it be considered a miss or a goal?
If this happens in a penalty shootout,
yes,
it's a goal.
It's a goal.
Play the video for me again now. Play the video for me again. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Play the video for me. You are there doing something. All right, we can come back now. Thank you. Anyway, so Egypt won 2-0. There was a cat. The cat was enjoying the game. Let me read some messages.
No, but you didn't explain it. You asked if it happened in a penalty shootout, would be a goal. Would it be a goal?
Would it?
Yeah, of course it's a goal. Both instances are a goal.
Yeah, so is it a...
Unless the sequence of play hasn't ended.
Yeah.
So the sequence of play, so if it happened in regulation time, like right now, it is considered, it's a no-go for sure. Because once it hit the crossbar, it came back into play. And any other touch again will be attributed to whichever player or whoever it is. And at that point, so this is an own goal. Yeah, this in particular is an
It should be an own goal.
No, it's definitely an own goal. Once it hit the crossbar, came back into play, the ball was back into play. And whoever touches it and it entered, because that ball could have come up against another player.
And it wasn't on target.
It wasn't on target, it was off target. So definitely a no goal. If it happened in the penalty shootout, that's also still a goal. It's also still a goal. As part of, and that is one of the things that I find very, very strange, especially in a penalty shootout, because I think they should change the rule. In a penalty shootout, that should not be giving us a goal.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because the penalty shootout should be considered that the sequence of play ends when the ball reaches or crosses the goal line.
So it doesn't.
But in this case, the ball didn't cross it.
Yes, but you see, no, but it got to the goal line.
So okay, so what about?
So I'm saying that if it gets to anywhere at the goal line,
what about this
and it comes back into play, shouldn't be allowed to be a
What
goal.
about this scenario? This is a goalpost.
Yes.
The penalty is struck, goalkeeper parries the ball, hits the goalpost, hits the hand of the goalkeeper, ends up in the back of the net. Goal?
Yeah.
But the ball hit the goal.
So what's the difference?
Because it struck the woodwork.
I said change the rules. That's what I said. I didn't say that it wasn't a goal. I said change the rules.
One of those interesting ones.
Interesting, yeah. Let's go to England. FA Cup action. Let's begin with Liverpool and Arsenal, because Arsenal hosted Liverpool and they lost the game by 2-0. And now it's called into question what's going on with Mikel Arteta and his team, because now in their last 8 games, they have just 1 victory. Arsenal, this is your team. I said Arsenal. Daniel, this is your team. You've been full of praises for them. And to be fair, in this game, they created lots of chances. But somehow they ended up losing. And yet again, another proof that the whole Kai Havertz centre-forward experiment must be truncated before Arsenal mess around and find out.
That's a very convenient way to put it, because this
True story.
This is only the second time this season he's been fit.
True, and he was horrible.
As a centre.
Agreed.
Yes, but against West Ham.
But what's going on with Arsenal? Let's look at holistically, because it's not just in the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's why I said
that's why I said
it's a very convenient way to put it, because this is not a Kai Havertz problem. This is an Arsenal problem.
I just mentioned Kai
that has
Havertz.
gone since, it's been happening since last season. In fact, since the signing of Gabriel Jesus, when some of us were very critical of that signing, he's a super player, but he's not a very good goal scorer. He was at Manchester City. The Man City team didn't classify him as a centre forward. Remember the 2018 World Cup, when he told Chich he didn't want to be a striker for Brazil, when he was selected at the World Cup to be a centre forward. A report from Brazil said he told the coach he didn't want to be a centre forward. He didn't have the confidence to be a centre forward. And it was proven to be true when he came back to Man City, and from then they stopped playing him as a centre forward. He's not a very good finisher. Eddie Nketiah is not an elite finisher. This is an elite club. At a certain point in the season, you would need elite finishers. You can't create these amount of chances in the first half.
It was terrible. They were so good.
Arsenal could easily have been 3-0 up in the first half. Against West Ham, Arsenal should have killed them. And that's the funny thing about result-oriented analysis.
If you didn't watch this game...
If you didn't watch, even the Arsenal-West Ham game, where people praised David Moyes' defensive shoe, Arsenal created a lot of opportunities. They opened up West Ham time and time again. And we are saying this, in this past, 3 or 4, 5 games that Arsenal have played, it's been a recurring theme where they are getting enough opportunities to kill the game off, yet they are not killing it. And the opposition gets 1 or 2 and they kill it off. And it's coinciding with the period in time where their defense is letting them down. At the start of the season, they were so good defensively, they didn't need more than 1 goal to win. If this was beginning of season form, these games would have been ending goalless or as a draw. But some way, somehow, Arsenal are being carved open. They are conceding big chances, and they are conceding goals, and they are failing to score. This is a January transfer window. It has never been more apparent their need for a
Let me give you a stat that will blow your mind. There's no single Arsenal outfit player that has more than 5 goals, and we are halfway into the season.
And that is mad.
Not a single Arsenal player has more than 5. That is just crazy.
Yeah, I think the other problem for Arsenal is the drop-off. And that is one thing that every manager hopes that it doesn't happen. But when some of your star players just drop off in terms of what they deliver.
Since Saka got there.
Because Bukayo Saka is not scoring with the regularity we saw from him last season. Martinelli's goals are not coming in. Martin Odegaard's numbers are not coming through.
Yeah.
So Gabriel Jesus wasn't a good goal. He's never been a great goal scorer, as we've said. Edin Ketia will give you some goals, but he's not your trusted source of goals. But Arsenal were great last season because Bukayo Saka got them a lot of goals and Martinelli was cheap. And Odegaard was scoring double figures last season. This season, those goals from those players as well are drying up. And so it's become so clear that they need a goal scorer. And that for me maybe is only because the others have not pulled their weight as they did last season. And so maybe Bukayo Saka is not the goal scorer we thought he would be or he was because he's not done it consistently.
He's not a Salah. He's not going to give you those numbers every season.
Perfect example. There it is. So maybe it's not necessarily... And for Liverpool, everything that they've won...
It's because Salah delivers every season.
Salah and Sadio Mane were brilliant, consistently delivering the goods. Firmino was the false nine, but wasn't... So maybe Arsenal do not necessarily need...
Jesus to be scoring, but they need someone else.
All the others who last season were great to get back to that form. But because you can't trust that Martinelli and Saka can deliver those goods, then maybe you're banging your hope in a striker who surely would give you the numbers that Bukayo Saka and Martinelli can give you constantly. And another thing Arteta has done is, I wonder if it's now beginning to have an effect on the club. Because it's made very small but significant changes to this Arsenal team.
Yeah.
The David Raya, Aaron Ramsdale issue is a little detail, but it's significant. Because the relationship that Ramsdale had built with that back four, that looked great last season, all of a sudden it's not there. And nobody can convince me that when Saliba and Gabriel look behind them when Raya is in post, they are confident because when the balls have been crossed into the box, Raya hasn't come out commanding. So they themselves are looking behind them and thinking Raya is not the best cover they have. And that has also put in pressure on Ramsdale when he has his opportunity to play. Because now he has to overthink it, overwork to show that he's better than Raya. That I think is the Kai Havertz thing, right?
I don't think that was a good investment. For 65 million
so
for
far,
an attacker, they could have gotten a much better player.
Especially when the club has backed you to take the team to another level. And he hasn't looked like the team is going to another level. And I know,
he hasn't.
And I agree with what Danny says, that if Arsenal had taken those chances, the scenario is different. But also, the other reason why Arsenal may be now conceding too many goals is because of the dynamics they've got in midfield now. When Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka and Odegaard played, the dynamics were different because the job Xhaka was doing is very different from what Havertz is doing. So Arsenal's midfield, Declan Rice is a proper DM, is great, but Arsenal's midfield for me or to me looks a bit more open than it was last season.
They also miss Partey, we have to say.
They miss Partey. It's clear.
Gravely.
It's common sense that they miss Partey, and nobody can deny that. And Odegaard's form is also tailed off a little bit. I think it's picking it up, but it's not been great. So Arteta has made very little changes, but it's had significant effect on the team. But as January, maybe he can fix it.
Interesting. They have a break now. I think Arsenal's next game would be January 20, I believe. So Arteta says that they needed that winter break.
On the other hand, though, what a win that is for Liverpool because they didn't play well.
Yep. They didn't play well.
And like we said, they should have lost that game if Arsenal were scoring goals. But they are top of the league. And you see, even more significantly, Arsenal are second. Liverpool lead them by 5 points. And they've beaten them in the cup. So that is straight away a certain level of dominance over their competitors.
Like down in fourth or something. They are nowhere second. Man City are second. Of course, who should be second? That's not like fourth. Man City are second.
Congrats to Liverpool. We can't look at Arsenal's faults, but look at Liverpool's praise.
Speaking of Man City, they welcome back Kevin De Bruyne. Wow. He came back with a bang, provided an assist. Man City won comfortably by 5-0. Chelsea also won against Preston by 4-0. It was a very difficult first half for them. That's the Man City game. How much did they miss this guy? Guardiola said that De Bruyne returning will not solve all their problems, which feeds into something you've said in the past.
Yeah, I've said it before.
That De Bruyne won't be the biggest fixer of all their problems, but certainly he's a fixer for so many problems.
Listen, you want De Bruyne on your side every day, every single day, because he sees the things many others don't see, and he's the only player who's got the ability to do some things that are magical, right?
Yeah.
He's by far, in my opinion, been the best Premier League player for some time now. And somebody was asking me today, I don't know what you think, but between Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne, who is a better creator of opportunities?
Of course, it's De Bruyne.
I think the problem with Bruno is people are not taking the chances he creates.
Yeah, that's true.
But Kevin De Bruyne finds people like Haaland, Alvarez who would finish, but Bruno's chances will go to Rashford and Højlund. Maybe, but that's another conversation. But what I'm saying is, when you've got Kevin De Bruyne on your side, you just know that even if the game is tough, it's either he's scoring or he's assisting, or because of his presence, it draws other people to him, which allows others around him to play well. We saw Gundogan when he played around Kevin De Bruyne. He always found his way to get into the box because De Bruyne will attract two midfielders to himself. And in Barcelona now, we see Gundogan not being able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the same effect that De Bruyne had on other midfield isn't there. So he's a great player to have back. And Haaland is also around the corner looking to tie his hair and lace his boots and get on the assist from Kevin De Bruyne.
Interesting. So he came out and provided a big assist for them. What about Chelsea? Let's move it on to Chelsea Football Club. Of course, they hosted Preston. Difficult first half, but they turned it around in the second half and then scored 4 goals and got a 4-0 win. But this guy's performance, Daniel, frustrated a lot of Chelsea fans who immediately said, you know what, Nicholas Jackson was bad, but this guy, Broja, I don't think we can rely on him for the next 1 month while Nicholas Jackson is gone. And there are now even talks that Chelsea might recall Datro Fofana.
From Union Berlin.
For Union Berlin, but not to come and stay, maybe loan him out again. Certainly Chelsea also need a striker, even if Nicholas Jackson was still there.
The value is the same. I don't see why Chelsea fans will complain. There's no difference between Broja and Jackson. Both of them are very good footballers, very good link-up players, but they don't know how to score goals. And that in itself is a problem. But the reason why I don't trust Chelsea to get an elite forward to come and solve the problem is because of their transfer strategy and the way they go about their transfer business. You just don't really see them getting an established name to come and steady this ship. So Pochettino has to deal with what he has and hopefully another cup competition where they can do it. They are doing well in the Carabao Cup. So
they are. Chelsea are in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. They are in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup.
Relax.
This was David Beckham.
The fourth round.
This is the round of 16. They are into the round of 16. So that's the fourth round.
No.
Yes, they just did the round of 16 draw. What is wrong with you?
That was the fourth round.
I said they are into the round of 16.
Right.
No. They are third round, fourth round.
Sorry.
Round of 16 before quarterfinal.
No, I didn't say quarter. I meant round. So right now, Chelsea have drawn. Okay, so Chelsea are in the. No, this was round of 32. Yes. So now Chelsea have advanced into they're into the round of 16. Okay. Yeah. So right now, and the draws are here. Okay. They're into the round of 32. So you're right. Yeah. So round of 32. Sorry. So in the round of 32,
guys jumping around.
The draw is out. Chelsea will play against Aston Villa.
That's a good game.
Yeah.
At Stamford Bridge.
At Stamford Bridge.
I think City have got a very...
Yeah, let me just go through the draws. Watford will take on Southampton. This is the round of 32. If you win this game, then you go to round of 16. Blackburn Rovers against Wrexham. Bournemouth against Swansea. West Brom against Brentford or Wolves. West Ham United or Bristol will take on Nottingham Forest or Blackpool. Leicester City versus Hull City or Birmingham. Then there is Chelsea versus... there's Sheffield Wednesday versus Coventry. There's Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Ipswich Town versus Maidstone United. Liverpool versus Norwich or Bristol Rovers. There is Spurs versus Man City. Now that is a confirmed fixture. Leeds United against Plymouth Argyle. There is Crystal Palace versus Everton. Crystal Palace or Everton. That game too will go into replay. Versus Luton Town or Bolton Wanderers. Newport County or Eastleigh versus Wigan Athletic or Man United. And Man United just beat Wigan Athletic. So it will be Newport County or Eastleigh versus Man United. And then there's Sheffield United versus Brighton and Hove Albion. And then there is, of course, Fulham versus Newcastle United. All right. Those are the FA Cup draw matches. The Black Stars game against Namibia has ended. 0-0. Neither side was able to score. But let me read some messages here. Some of you have been sending in your messages. I beg your pardon as well. And this one says, I'm watching you live from Sunyane Abesim. This is Derek Amponsa. Ghana will win this AFCON if we give them all our support. Ghana all the way. I agree with you. Brian from Cantonment says, good evening. I predicted 0-0 against Namibia. This is our team's best performance in the AFCON. And, he said our team's best performance in the AFCON is to manage to qualify from the group stages and then come back later in the competition. Bernard says, I'm watching you live from Bimbla in the northern region. From the look of things, I think we should stop going safe because we are going to waste money and time. Interesting. This message says, hello, I want to know why Mohamed Salisu is not in the squad. He is in the squad. Mohamed Salisu, that is. He just didn't play this particular game. So
he came on in the second half.
He came on in the second half, yeah?
Yeah.
He did. All right, cool. He came on in the second half. Mohamed Salisu, that is. All right, cool. Let me see if I can get a couple of other messages across. So Mohamed Salisu did come on in the second half of that particular game. All right, cool. This message says, I'm watching you guys live. Aisha from Kumasi, keep up the good work. Oh, that's Aisha, my sister. All right, cool. Aisha, thank you. Good evening to you and all of the kids, of course, there as well. All right, more messages. Good evening. I'm Aliu Mahama, aka Flamingo. I'm watching you live in Krachi West Municipal in the OT region. In a high respect, I want to suggest that the government of Ghana should rather depend on the singathon, cookathon, sleepathon, and concert party period, and stop depending on Black Stars or Broken Heart Star, he says. Interesting. Everybody has their own problems. A coach who plays behind closed doors. Shame on you. Chris Hutton is not a professional coach. Could he have done this in Ireland? I'm ADG from Ashaman. People get issues. So, could Chris Hutton have done this in Ireland?
He probably could.
Yes, but why Ireland? He's also Ghanaian.
No, my thing is, if it's behind closed doors, it's behind closed doors. Nobody is there to watch it. But if fans can go there on free tickets, we might as well.
So you're saying that it's not behind closed doors,
yes,
behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors.
The purpose.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to.
I guess
It's counterproductive. If you don't want anybody to
now,
see what you are doing, why are you allowing us to come to the stadium
for free?
Yes, because like Situ is also saying, if it is about spying, any of those fans could have been spying for opposition.
Simple.
Or opposition could send spies that you can't even identify.
If I'm a scout.
You are there free, and you even pay money.
I'm calling the Egyptian FA, and I'm calling the other people.
I'm entering for free.
That I've got business. I'm going to watch the game.
I'll take notes
and I'll give you my reports.
Anyway, yeah. Nigeria also lost their friendly match against Guinea. So the two teams there, some way. And Victor Boniface is injured and he's gone back to Leverkusen, so he will not be playing at the AFCON. I think they've called Murphy, right, to replace him. Cosmos from Pukwasi says, Ghana will surely win this AFCON. Amen. 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 This message says, reading more here. It says, Badawi from Navarongo says, Ghana cannot even get third position in our group. Interesting. All right, cool. All right, let me read more messages here. Francis Bowoko from Aflao says, please, kindly tone down on your impressions you have about the Black Stars' performance. I had played football before, and I know how it is for the team at this moment. All the boys need now is encouragement. Let us not write them off. Okay, Black Stars players, we encourage you. Go to the AFCON and win the cup for us. Amen.
We need to encourage professional footballers who know that. I've always wondered what this means, really, because when they got a call up and got on the flight, and anytime they wake up in the morning, if they are not self-motivated and encouraged by the opportunity of winning the AFCON for Ghana for the first time,
then there's nothing anybody else can.
Then there is nobody anywhere who can encourage them. There's no point.
Yeah.
It's your job. You need encouragement to come and sit here and do your... Honestly, we really
make history.
We really pamper some of these things, and the more reason why the attitude that they turn up and show it, because...
Too Sweet sent us a message. He says, higher we go, Black Stars. Okay, interesting. They should... Abdul from Tamale says, good evening, guys. Great show, but we need to work on a lot as far as the Black Stars are concerned. Anyway, I'll be very glad if you pass through the cookathon in Tamale. They are inviting us to cookathon, oh, Charlie. When is it ending?
We'll go do live show for day.
When is it ending?
We'll go do live show for day.
Oh, yeah.
Obi, we did there.
She can cook to you.
Oh, next Monday, will she still be cooking?
The way she's cooking, she can cook to you.
She can cook. She should extend it to next Monday. We'll go and do our show from there.
Charlie, they go cook.
By Chef Fela. Fela too.
You know what I like about...
Hey, the girl can cook.
You know what I like about...
The way she presents the food.
Bro!
The presentation.
Bro!
Now, it makes us all wonder what Hilda Bassi was doing.
No, you see, I was a bit confused.
Yes.
I thought maybe it's the Joy Prime cameras that have done some
champion
configuration and the thing is
yes,
the girl is not just cooking and putting it aside. She's cooking, garnishing.
You saw that watching?
When they cut the meat big. They cut the meat big.
While she's tired though.
She's dancing. She's not tired, bro.
No. Like, why she's supposed to be tired?
Yes.
She's
dancing, she's smiling.
Chef Fela. No, we bow. You do all. Salom in Swim says, please, if I may ask you, what at all is the Black Stars team hiding? Any new tactics, Anna?
The players are shy.
But think about it. After the first game at the AFCON, which is going to be on TV, is Chris going to change something significant into the second and third game, in that is hiding some tactic from an opponent?
Bro,
I will
on Sunday. If you are a Ghana fan, be nervous. It will be tough.
You can exit the tournament by the time after you play. Yes.
All right. Let me just say this. This one says Happy New Year to you guys. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Black Stars play their 3 group stage matches without scoring a single goal. Our coaches' tactics are outmoded. This is Di Maria from Now City with that message. I have one announcement to make before we go. Here at Joy Prime, we are committed to delivering the AFCON in ways that you've never seen before. So because of that, we are introducing 2 new shows. Starting tomorrow, Tuesday, 1 p.m., we have AFCON Today. It's a show that looks ahead to all of the day's AFCON games, giving you the best perspectives, the proper numbers and what they mean, as well as camp updates and all the analysis you need. Joy Prime, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Monday to Friday, and we start tomorrow. And when the tournament starts, at 10 p.m. every day as well, we'll have another show called AFCON Tonight, where we'll review all of the day's games in the AFCON and give you unrivaled perspectives. The AFCON is here on Joy Prime. My name is Fencho Tahir Fenjo. This has been another episode of Sports Zone. I was here with Joffe Philippa Trim and Daniel Cranton. The show is sponsored by Syntextat, Pride Bet, as well as Hunters. Until next Monday, though, you take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll be back with a Ghana win on Sunday.